Dr. Mark Prince OBE, the founder and the director of the Kiyan Prince Foundation. From 8 years old, my dad being a former fighter, he would take us running. And once we all kind of got of age, made us spar with him. Being a time where there was racism was more open, if you didn't know how to take care of yourself as a kid, you were gonna be the weaker animal in the jungle out there. It was just sad that I had issues growing up where my dad would discipline me in such a harsh way it would cause cuts and bruises on my skin. So my answer to everything was violence. I started boxing at 21. I began boxing in Tottenham Enterprise. A busy gym, lots of competition, loads of fighters. I used to love when the pros would come in, and the most memorable one I remember was when Michael Watson came into our gym, and you know, Eric Seacombe, his trainer, was sort of looking around to see who was Michael's size. And I remember they came over to me and said, you know, have you boxed? What do you do? Have you had any fights? Would you like to spar with Michael? But I hadn't had any fights. So Michael Watson was my first official sparring session that I'd done. And what was exciting about that was he was the one that told me that you have something awesome. His words were, you're gonna be a champion one day. My career, I think, ended with about 23 wins, 1 loss, and about 19 knockouts, and a great world title fight as well. We're talking about fighting one of the best light heavyweights that went down in history, Dariusz Mikuchowski, and you can't take nothing away from him. I would hate watching my son getting bashed in the face. I was quite pleased that he took on the mindset. You go to Queen's Park Rangers and they had some great plans for Kiyan, and then you really could see every time he hit on that pitch, his mindset and his drive to score and win tackles. He just had a wonderful leadership quality about him. So Kiyan, at 15 years old, was at school. In fact, he was outside the school gates. They noticed a fight breaking out, and Kiyan went to break it up. The guy pulled a knife out. And from the feedback I've got, Kiyan said, you know, what are you doing with that? You know, put it away, man. And the guy went for him. And when I saw Kiyan's body, I saw marks from the knife on his forearm, so you could see he was blocking him. One got through straight into his heart. And yeah, he died outside his school in front of his friends and everyone. It's one of those tragedies that you really don't know what you're gonna do after. Every person's worst nightmare, to think something could happen to your child. And my worst nightmare came true. I think I lost my mind. If you looked at me at certain stages after my son died, you'd see me just shuffling around the table for hours. And then I'd make some mad, crazy, screaming, crying noises, and I'd go back to shuffling again. Your heart's broken. It's torn up. It comes like a tsunami. Phone call. And all these crazy feelings and thoughts, and you got to drive to the hospital and find out what's going on with your son. Then another wave comes, the doctor comes out and tells you that he's tried to massage your son's heart and keep him alive. And then something happens to you where you don't even know. Your head goes, your body reacts. It's like it just, it goes before you, it takes over. It's like you're not equipped for news like that. You can't handle news like that. The noise that comes out of you, the noise that I heard come out of Tracy, Kiyan's mum, the noises and the feeling that you get surging up through your body. Oh. You've got to get this stuff out, whatever it is, this rage, this grief, you've got to get this out because you've heard this news and you're smashing walls and your hands are bleeding, you don't even know. You know, I didn't know I was leaving blood trails around the the hospital, didn't know. When you leave seeing your son's dead body, and it goes from warm to cold, you're lost, you're paralyzed yourself. I realized then I had no control. I had no control over whether my children could live or die. The only control I had was what I decided to choose to do. What direction did I want? So I just drink, I smoke, I do anything to blot it out, blur it out. I decided that I didn't want that. I used my power of choice and decided, well, what can I do to honor my son, and how, when I get to meet him and see him again, what do I want to be able to say to him? But I just decided that I was going to do something that was going to honor his life, and I was going to show other young people about him and how they could all be little Kiyans. If I could save a parent from my pain, save a child from what my child had to go through, then I'll do whatever that takes. We try to give them opportunities where not only do we inspire you to change the path you're on, but we want to give you opportunities. So once you decide, you know what, I'm loving this, I'm inspired, well, we want to take you through the programs, we take you through the training sessions. We go into primary schools, deal with secondary schools, and we also deal with young people in prisons. We utilize training to develop them physically and mentally. We've also got counselors, therapists on board. So we've got to develop the mind, because you have to be free here first.
You made your comeback, your boxing comeback, in the midst of all this. So can you talk us through that?
Yeah, that was interesting, because I was looking at my organization, and when I looked at fighters, when I looked at people of influence, they had media attention, and I thought, well, you know, some of them even got charities. So because of their links and their influence, they're able to do more for their organization. So I figured that, well, if I go back into fighting, then maybe I'll be able to do more for my organization and be able to have a far-reaching effect on more young people. So I began this grueling daily process of training every day, going in the gym, training 3-4 times a day. It was insane, because I was obviously 45 by then. And it was real testing, because I'd have the demons just talking to me in the gym, because I'd be in the gym late at night as well. Sometimes Don Charles would allow me to just be in there, and I'll be training, and the voice would just say, "What are you doing? Like, seriously, bro, you're 45, you know, these guys are gonna beat you up, bro. You're gonna be fighting guys in their 20s. And I said, you know, look how you're looking now, look how you're feeling. You can't even manage the stuff that you used to. And I had a year of training constantly every day before I was ready to go in the ring. And ready I was. And what a specimen I built myself into to let off my skills. I trained myself. I won 4 fights, I had 3 knockouts and 1 decision 10-rounder, which demonstrated to me I had the fitness and I could do it because I'd done it comfortably. And it was strange because I haven't told many people this, but I had a phone call and I got offered a WBA title shot. So now the WBA title shot was there, I had an opportunity to make a serious decision, because the WBA title shot meant I'm fully back on this boxing thing and I can't have time to commit to my new goals, because going in and I believed that I could win. He was a guy that was 19-0. My trainer said, you got this guy's number, I'll train you specifically to beat this guy, you got this guy. And then I said, wait, I need to talk to God and I need to make a decision, I'll get back to you. And you know what, I decided to do the one thing I didn't want to do, which was not box. I wanted to come back and prove everyone wrong. But I knew that KPF would suffer because all my time would be into, so I let boxing go because I wanted KPF to grow. I got my book released, The Prince of Peace, in 2016. I got the OBE after that. We focused on getting a little bit of funding in. We started reaching astronomical numbers with children. I started the Future Champions campaign, just going into school after school. I committed my time. Then we had Queen's Park Rangers doing that awesome move where the fans voted the change of the name of the football stadium to the Kiyan Prince Foundation Stadium. Just fantastic stuff which proved that I made the right choice. And it was a wonderful feeling. So, you know, it's like, I love boxing, love what it done for me, love being involved in it, but it's all about the paying it forward, the impact I can have on young people, and creating a team of people with lived experience so we can create leaders out of our community. My message for anyone that's struggling in whatever area they're struggling in, to ask yourself, what do you want? That's the most important question. There is no one else like you, no one else with your DNA, no one else with your makeup. So you're here for a purpose. Do not give up. Decide what you want and go for it.